Welcome, everyone. Can you guys hear me? If you can just type into the chat room so I can see. Okay. And can you guys hear me? If you can just type into the chat room so I can see. All right. Okay, super. My name is Sandra Gonzalez, and I'm going to be your instructor for the first phase of EBV for the online course. So I'm really excited to be working with everyone. I'm also a graduate of the Entrepreneurship Bootcamp for Veterans, the one for families, and it was there that I actually was able to take my idea from just a concept and launch it into an actual business. So I'm excited for all of you, and I'm looking forward to working with everyone. Please don't hesitate to reach out to me at any time for any questions. Just a little bit more about me. I was an Army nurse. Okay, I was an officer in the Army Nurse Corps for about 7 years. I've been a military spouse for more than 23 years. My husband is a retired artilleryman, and I've been a home educator for the past 14 years. So I have a lot of experience teaching kindergarten through 12th grade, and I've already graduated 2 of my 6 kids. So I have a lot of experience with education. I've been working with IVMF teaching for the different programs for the past 4 years, and I've had 800 students, so I've seen 800 different business concepts. So there's nothing out there that our military community cannot do, and actually you all are capable of doing so much. And it's just an honor to be working with everyone to see how much you will all be contributing to our nation, our economies, and everything else that you do. All right. Kelly, you can't hear me. If the audio goes out, try and refresh your screen. So I hope that I hope you're able to catch the audio on this. All right, we're going to do a few things. If you still can't hear me, please type into the chat room so I can see if I need to fix something on my end. But we're going to do a couple of things right now, and the first of which is to go over the Moodle classroom. All right, almost everybody has logged in, so this is great. This is my first class that has not had any issues with the technology. So let me go ahead and share my screen. All right. Can everybody see the Moodle classroom at this point? All right, good. I see it on my other screen. So when you log in, you should come to this dashboard. Hopefully, this is the first thing you see when you do log in. Okay, all you need to do is just select you'll only see EBV Syracuse 2018. So once you log into there, it'll take you directly into the classroom. But as you complete each assignment and turn it in, you'll see your course progress automatically update here. Okay, so by the end of the class, you should have 100% as long as you've turned everything in. The other thing that I want to point out is the calendar. I'm going to keep updating it with more stuff, but all of the assignments, in case you don't have access to your syllabus, if you're at work or you just don't have access to it because you're not at home, it will automatically show up either on the calendar or under the upcoming events. Okay. What else can I show you on here? If you prefer, this is set up in all sorts of different ways. So just play around with the buttons and see which one works best for you. If you like the list view, it's right here. And then you can click on it and it'll bring you directly to each of the activities that you need to fill out. Okay, good. I am so happy to see so many of you on the chat room. What I'm going to do after I finish going over Moodle and the syllabus and some of the assignments is I'm going to post the link to the Google Hangouts into the chat room. So if you have a Gmail account, you can join me and ask any questions that you want, either about the course content or how it applies to your business. And I'll go over that a little bit more in just a little bit. The other thing I want, if you are going to join me on Google Hangouts, you do need to have a Gmail account, and it'll only let the first 10 people in. Okay, but I'll review that as soon as we get to that point. So this is your dashboard again, and then this is the place where it's going to show you either your course progress as well as all of the assignments that are due. So now let's go ahead and go into the classroom. So once you are in the right classroom, let's talk about the preferences, because this is where you're actually going to update how you want to receive notifications about the chat room. So it's all under here under preferences with the little wrench. And if you click on that, that's where you can get to the forum preferences. Everything else, everybody seems to have a good handle on. You've all updated your profile pictures, and at this point, I'm sure your passwords are updated as well. So under forum preferences, if you just click on that, I would leave a lot of the settings the way they are. So for email digest type, just leave it to no digest so that it doesn't clog up your inbox. You don't want to be receiving notifications every time somebody posts to a forum. The other thing that is supposed to happen but has never happened yet with me, especially for this new Moodle version, is that when you post to a forum, that it'll automatically subscribe to that forum. So if that doesn't work for you, just keep checking back in the actual forum. And I think this is a little bit more helpful because if you keep getting a lot of emails, you won't be able to receive anything else. Okay, as far as forum tracking, and this will actually be easier once we get to the forums, and I can show you how that works. This is the default. Actually, this is not the default, but it will highlight new posts for you so you can see when your other classmates have posted, and then it's automatically going to mark them as read. All right. So that's how that works. And you'll see it again when we get to the actual forums. So let me go ahead and go back to the class so you can see. So we can talk about the assignments. All right, here we go. Now, this is what this means for the forum preferences. I selected that I wanted the new posts highlighted, so now I can see where everybody is posting. And once you actually complete your post, or you submit a post, create a post, there will be a check mark that appears in the little box next to that forum. That's how you can tell when you are finishing up all the assignments, okay? And then it'll be reflected in your course progress. All right, if we scroll down a little bit more, let me show you something else. I know all of you have figured this out, but just in case, if you click on this button here, it brings up the left-hand toolbar. And this is the easiest way to get to anything that you need in the course. And it's all pretty much self-explanatory. So the main thing here is if you just want to check the forums, general is the fastest way to get there. And then this one actually brings up the entire course, okay? What's easier is just to go by week, and that's where you can see all of the assignments and then also turn them in. Okay, it really depends on what's easiest for you and how you learn best. And everything is hyperlinked, so when you see the little arrow change to a hand icon, that means you can click on it and get to the right place. Now, there's I've just updated this to reflect the PDF because the PDF and the hard copy of the book are different in page numbering. So I'm going to actually update it again later to include both pages. But let me bring up the PDF really quick before I forget. Here it is for the new business road test. So when you are working on the assignments, make sure you are using the page numbers at the bottom. Okay, these will not change, but this page number up here in the top, if you can see that, it will change. The numbering at the top and the numbering at the bottom don't match. Make sure you use the page numbers at the bottom of the PDF if you are using that version. And then if you're using the hard copy of the book, just use the syllabus that Deanna sent you at the beginning of the course. And I'm going to update them later so that they have both numbers from the hard copy as well as the digital version of the new business road test. So I hope that makes sense and that answers any of your questions. So if you inadvertently use the PDF and answered the questions on page 150 here, this is actually an assignment for, I think, either week 2 or week 3. Just hold on to it if you haven't turned it in already, because you're actually ahead, okay? If you've turned this in with this assignment, don't worry about it. Just get me your first assignment whenever you get a chance, and just send me an email, and I will give you credit for everything, and I will give you feedback for this assignment, since there was some confusion about the page numbers. All right. Okay. So as far as the assignments go, if you are falling behind, just let me know. You will receive credit for everything you turn in. I just can't guarantee that I can give feedback on everything that's late, all right? Because there's going to be a backlog between now and towards the end of week 3, because this is actually a bigger class. All right, so let's go back to Moodle really quick so we can finish going through the classroom. I don't think there's much else for Moodle that you need to know about. Oh, actually there is. There's one more thing that I do need to talk about. It's when you post a discussion. Hopefully you saw this when you posted your first discussion. So when you click on add a new discussion topic, after you've typed in your content, and then you can add files here. Once you click post to forum, hopefully this won't lock up my screen, but you'll see this green box. You have 30 minutes from the time you post your discussion to be able to edit it. Once those 30 minutes have passed, you won't be able to edit it, but I will from my end. So if for example, if you've made a mistake and shared too much information about your business concept, just let me know and send me the corrected version, and I will fix it on my end, okay? Okay, that's something that happened in the last class, and she couldn't fix it, but I could do that for her. So Lance, please explain what is a forum. So the discussion forums are the different assignments that you have to turn in. Okay, so the first one is the I Made It forum, which is your introduction. And that's what I'm referring to. But when if for some reason it needs to be edited and you can't do it, just let me know and I can help you with that. All right. The things I want you to be careful about in sharing information in the forums is anything that you plan to either trademark or patent, but otherwise everything else should be okay. And the things that you do post in the forums are things that your classmates will be able to see. If it's something you don't want to share in public, your assignments that you turn into me, nobody else will see, okay? All right, I see another question in this chat form. Is there a specific way you want us to answer the questions? No, not really. It's however you feel best about them. Aquanetta, are you referring to the questions for the assignments? If you are, and if you want to keep the feedback that I give you, then the best way to do that is to upload it as either a Microsoft Word document or a PDF. I just can't write on Pages, which is what is it? Which is the software program for Mac or for Apple products. Okay, so yeah, so either use Microsoft Word. Let me go ahead and type that out. Microsoft Word or a PDF for your assignments if you want the feedback. Okay, it's because I can write directly on those. Some people save it primarily because they're either trying to create a business plan or it's just an easier way for them to remember. Okay, good. Very good question. Let me know if you have any other questions and just keep typing it in. The best way to submit a journal entry, some of those are just real personal, and it's really just a way for you to just to explore what your aspirations are for your business venture. So either one is fine. It can be either Microsoft Word or PDF, or you can just type it into the editor on Moodle. If it's something here's an example. If it's something where you're trying to map out something for your business concept, either research or market analysis or anything like that, then I would recommend doing it in a Microsoft Word. Okay, because then I can write directly on it and it'll make a little bit more sense to you. These assignments help you work out your concept in a way that you actually can't have the foundations of a business plan by the time you're done. Okay, it won't be a complete business plan, but it's a byproduct of it, of the planning process. So if you want the feedback or just some recommendations, Microsoft Word is actually the best way for me to help you with that. Okay, good, super. Keep it up. Keep all the questions coming. All right, so we talked about the forums, editing your posts. Let's talk about grades. I've gone through some of the discussion forums so far, but you should be, if I've gotten to your forum, or I'm sorry, if I've gotten to your assignments, then you will see the grades posted. I haven't done any of the actual submissions yet, and there's a way to see it where you'll see all of your grades at once. It'll look like this. I'm not going to show anybody's grades, but if I've given you feedback, you'll see it here. The grades, don't worry so much about these numbers. What you should be more concerned about is just getting everything turned in, and then you'll see that your course progress on the dashboard. Okay, this is a good question here from Lance. Please review how to submit an assignment. So let's go to the first journal entry. I'm going to skip ahead because you can do that either by typing it in directly into Moodle or uploading a file. If you've never taken an online class, please let me know as soon as possible so I can help you with either submitting assignments or just anything regarding the Moodle classroom, because it's new, and this is actually a newer version that we're using, so a lot of things have had to be updated. So when you get to the first journal entry, you know what? Let me see if I can do this as a student, because it's not going to let me turn this in as an instructor. Hold on one second. All right, here we go. So when you get to the first journal entry, let me see. It should give you two ways to be able to do it. So if you get here to the online text, I'm just going to start typing in, this is a test, and then I can either submit it this way and just save the changes, or I can upload a file and then just drag it in here. Okay, once you've dragged it in, just upload the file and it'll turn it in. Right now, this is currently set for one attachment. So like the example I'm going to use is this first assignment where it said turn in the questions from page 150, but page 150 was the wrong chapter in the PDF if you use that version. I will fix this so you can submit more than one attachment. And that way, if you did put in the wrong assignment, you can just re-upload the next one, okay? All right, no big deal. I can help you with anything. I don't mind at all. That's why I'm here. I enjoy working with all of you. This is my affinity group. All right, good. What else can I answer for you? I think this is pretty much it. We've covered everything from Moodle. A lot of it is self-explanatory. But again, if you've not taken an online class before, please let me know. I can send you a link to Zoom, Zoom, and then we can share screens, and I can help walk you through the process of either typing in your entry or uploading assignments, okay? All right, no big deal with any of this. So that is Moodle in a nutshell. Oh, I know the other thing I wanted to tell you. There is a mobile app version for it, and you get it either down here at the footer, at the very bottom of the screen, or you can get it from, I think it's under your profile. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and leave the page, and then you can download it from somewhere over here. It's either profile or preferences. Anyway, if you forget, just go to the bottom of the page and download it and install it on your tablet or phone. Okay, I have an iPhone, so that's where it's installed, and I can track what everybody is turning in. If you are going to use that app, make sure it's going to make you log in. So you're going to type in the domain name of the classroom. I'm going to type it in here. moodle.ivmf.syracuse.edu. I forgot the U at the end. Anyway, .edu. But once you type that into the Moodle app, then it's going to bring you to the online classroom and you can log in. Okay, somebody told me that it was not working for Android. If it's working for any of you, on the Android app, please let me know. Okay. Okay, Lance, I see your comment, and you and I are going to stay well connected for at least this first week, okay? You have my cell phone, and I'm going to be emailing you and checking your progress to make sure everything is working out fine for you. Is there an easy way to extract the calendar feed? Oh, is it not working? Let's go to the calendar. If you do download the app to your phone, then the calendar reminders are going to automatically show up. But if you go to export calendar, this is usually where you can do it. Let me see if it's not working here. Events related to courses. And I'm going to put in this week. I'm just going to click export. Once you get to this point, this one is more for Microsoft Outlook. But if you save the file and then click OK, it'll be here in your downloads. And so at this point, you might be able to export it to Gmail. This is where I usually import it into my Outlook program, the actual Outlook program here for Microsoft Office. Okay. Is there a way to get extra links that will help us get a more understanding of our personal business Outlook? I can help you with that if you can be really specific as to what those needs are. Then yes, I can give you as many resources as you need, Aquanetta, and not just you, but everybody in the class. That just reminded me of something. Let me show you some new links that were added. Okay, so you can also access the different pages of the course up here under this toolbar. And what's new is the Ask the Expert forum. That's really for me. So if you have any questions from me as your instructor, this is where you're going to post them. And this is also where I can post any resources that you need for your business. Okay, some of them will apply to all of you. Some of them will only apply to some of you because they can be real industry specific. Now, if I go back to here again, the Ask the Class forum is now up as well. Okay, and so anything that you want to ask your classmates, like is anybody from, and then you can name your state or your industry or anything else. This is where you can add those discussions here. And this is also a great place for all of you to share resources or maybe, you know, anything else related to your business. Okay, so I hope that answers that question. I think we've covered pretty much everything with Moodle. Okay, hold on one second. There's one more question I want to look at. Ask the Expert is not working. Really? It's not working? Can you either refresh your screen for that or open it up in a new tab? Because it did just get turned on, but it was like more than an hour ago. So I know it's working here. Let me go ahead and check it. The other thing that happens is that as I go through the course online and everybody's pushing the buttons too, sometimes it freezes up the classroom. But it is working now. So try again later or keep refreshing your screen. So usually what I do, because you see I don't really participate in the forums that much unless I can use it as a teaching opportunity for all of you, is when you post questions in my forum, I'll use that in our office hours, and it's because it's much easier to address them by talking about them online. And that's part of the way I'm going to answer your question, but also so that your classmates can learn as well. So if you have something that you want to know about and you're fine with me sharing it, go ahead and post it in my forum because I'm going to address it in office hours in the following 2 weeks. So that's something that I didn't talk about right now, but we do have 3 opportunities to meet, and today is one of them. On week 2, we will meet on Monday for those of you who can make it. And here is the link right here. So this will be our first set of office hours. So if you have any questions about the homework or anything else that you want to talk about, this is where you can ask me your questions. Just as a general reminder, I can only answer questions about the course content as well as how to apply them to your business. I can't answer any of the questions about the logistics of the course or phase 2 because I'm not involved with any of that. That's all Deanna, okay? And then if you have questions about the technology, be sure to fill out a help desk ticket for Jim. Okay. And then the next time we're going to meet for office hours will also be on Monday of week 3. And that hyperlink is right here. And if this hyperlink doesn't work, just copy and paste the URL into your browser. Okay. All right, good. I don't see any more questions. I think what we're going to do right now is I'm going to go ahead and go through the syllabus. There's really not much here to talk about other than here's my contact information as well as Jim's. And let me go ahead and go through all the pages just to make sure. There was a question that came up earlier about some of the resources that were mailed to you. And I don't know if it changed with this class or not, if you had to request that the text be mailed to you ahead of time. But these are the ones that are required for the course. And if you received a hard copy, there are only 3 of them that should have been sent to you, to include the New Business Road Test, the Introduction to Business Ownership book, and that one's not that big, as well as the Nuts and Bolts Guide. So all of these you'll want to hang on to because they'll help you later on as you continue to progress in your business. Now, the other resources that are available to you, and I'm going to go back to Moodle, they are all under course file. So I'm going to go ahead and select that because there are some things that I want you to see. So the syllabus is on here. The Moodle guide is an older version. So that's why I'm not really talking about it. But if you want it, you can still open it up. It still needs to be updated because this is a new classroom from last year, but it talks about the course itself and gives you basically a diagram of where everything is at and how it all works. The thing that I wanted to point out is that for the government benefits guide, this is just a PDF. I don't think that there's a hard copy of it, but there will be a consultant at the residency phase who will sit down with each of you for like 15 to 20 minutes and answer any of the questions that you have about the benefits that are available to you, because some of this can help you with starting your own business, primarily in giving you a source of income. Okay, it takes away some of the pressure of having to generate revenue right away so that you can feed your family. But that's right here. The industry classification guide is here, and so are the other resources you need, like the business owner profile workbook, okay, which you're going to be working on throughout the course. That one will be due to Deanna the last day of the course. And the other resource that I need to point out to you, let me go back to the home page, is the library. Let me see if I can find it here. All right. Well, we'll go back. If you can't find it, it's always under course files, and it should be somewhere over here. But this library from IVMF has a lot of resources for you in terms of videos, downloads, and articles that'll help you with your business long after the course ends. Of course, I don't see the link on here right now. Okay, let me just type it in. So if you can't find it, here it is. You can always search for it and then bookmark it later. But here's the library I was talking to you about. So everything on every topic regarding to entrepreneurship is located right here. Okay, so you will have access to the course, to the online course, for a year after EBV ends. But then after that, if you need more resources, you can still use this library. All right, good. Are there any questions so far about anything that we've covered? Okay. All right. What I'm going to do, let me go back to Google Hangouts really quick. Oh, good. Deanna is here. Deanna, do you have anything that you want to share with anyone so far?
Hi, Sandra. Yeah, I was just having a little bit of trouble logging in, but I logged in. I've been on for the majority of it. And you're correct. I just want to mention about that benefits guidebook. It is only offered electronically now, unfortunately. I've had a couple of students reach out and ask for the hard copy. We are not authorized to print those copies anymore. So like I said, it's only available. The main reason for that is it changes every year usually, and so it's not very cost effective, and so we've been told that we're not allowed to print them anymore. So I apologize to those of you who might need it printed, but if you have specific questions on a specific portion of that and it's hard to read, please reach out and we can do that. And like Sandra said, there's actually a place where they can, we're going to have a day where we have someone come in and talk about benefits, and then for about an hour during one of our sessions, and then the following day everybody will sign up for a 30-minute session throughout that day that they will meet one-on-one with the benefits counselor, and then that will be a connection going forward for pretty much the life for your life, to be able to connect with, talking about business, talk about everything. Number one, not just your benefits through the VA and your benefits that you receive, as a veteran from your service, but also, benefits as a veteran running a small business.
Okay, good. I'm gonna post the link to the Google Hangouts. Does anyone have any questions so far about anything? Okay, if you'd like to join us on the Google Hangouts and get anything answered in person, I just posted the link. As long as you have a Gmail account, you can log in and join us. Actually, all you need to do is just click on the link. How are the assignments going so far? I know the first one was almost everybody did get it right, so good. Keep up the great work. This is the first class I've where almost everyone has logged in and started posting early. You're actually all ahead of the game. So that's very impressive, and it says a lot about each of you. So keep it up, all right? Little less than 3 weeks to go. It'll go by really quick.
Sandra, I'd just like to share one more thing, just as I know questions will be rolling in throughout the week. This is a good time to do it. Just to everyone who's on or listening, we'll be starting to schedule your travel at the end of this week. We like to do that at the end of the first week, just to ensure your progress, through the course. So you'll be getting an email from me that has some detailed information about travel. And I know some of you are driving in, so it'll have, to those of you who are driving in, it will have detailed information about how we'll be reimbursing you for that. We have a travel agency that connects with you, and you work through them to schedule your travel. And then in that email will also be included, the attire for each day, special items to pack, certain things not to forget, some kind of max tips to make your week, to make your residency portion the most successful. So just know, everyone should just know that will be coming at the end of the week.
Okay, good. I actually attended my EBVF program at Syracuse. It was just an amazing experience. And it really was a boot camp. I thought they were kidding. Okay, so all of the assignments that you're working on now are going to help you be more prepared by the time you get to the boot camp, as well as to help you continue with your business long after this ends. The one thing I do want to recommend, even now while we're getting started, is to go ahead and start connecting with the business counselors in your local community through the small business development centers. I'm going to go ahead and type this in. They're called SBDCs. Okay, as well as any SBA offices in your area. Some of you might be doing procurement, government or federal contracting. There are some offices for those. They're called Procurement Technical Assistance Centers. Okay, so that by the time all of this ends, you still have a support network by the time you get home, because you'll be ready to keep running with all of this, and you need to know who to go to. So those are some resources out there for you, depending on what your industry is and what it is that you're trying to accomplish. Okay, I know we have a lot of people in elderly care. I think that's wonderful. They're try and connect with one another in the Ask the Class forum so that you can share resources and ideas, and also just be accountability partners for each other once all of this ends, because these next 3 weeks are going to go by really quickly. And then your time at the residency phase, even though the days will feel really long, it's going to go by very quick, and then you're going to miss your classmates by the time you leave. So it's a lot to take in just this first week, but the effort that you put into all of this will be well worth it. What other questions do you all have? What else can I cover? We have 25 minutes left. What else can I cover for you now? Because we won't meet again until next Monday. Deanna, if you have anything, you can just jump in.
I don't have anything at the moment. I've had a couple of people email, and I've been asking as you know, I've been answering them as I've received them. I know some of you emailed me over the weekend or yesterday, and I'm actually just returning from vacation. So I haven't yet been able to reply to those of you, but I will be replying tomorrow. I go back into the office. So just trying to think of some other things. I think just the most important thing is just to keep communicating with Sandra throughout the course. If there's a couple of days that you get behind, as you know, life happens. And so I think the important thing is to remember just to communicate. We do log in regularly to monitor progress. I'll be checking. I know some of you have worked ahead because of some days that you'll be unavailable, and those you were already communicating with Sandra. So that's great. And myself. So I appreciate that. But just, you know, we want to work with you. We want to make sure that you complete this. And it is obviously, you know, completing phase 1 is a requirement to attend phase 2. So just keep an open line of communication. I think that's the biggest thing, you know, and both of us, I know Sandra, like I'm sure you read her bio, and I'm sure she introduced herself right at the beginning, but, you know, Sandra's been there and done that with a lot of our programs. And, you know, has also been an instructor for quite a few of our programs now. So she's, you know, she's there with you. She's going through this with you. So please just communicate if you're having issues, struggles. Also, if some of you only requested electronic hard copies, and as you are going through the course, you realize that you're having an issue with those, please send me an email and we can overnight you a hard copy of those books, as much as we have in stock. So just let me know, and we'll work as much as we can to accommodate you. Thanks, Sandra.
Okay, thanks, Deanna. There was a question about what is the reference to business plan competition all about? So this YouTube channel is one of my brands, How to Win Business Plan Competitions. This came about because I've won 2 big competitions and have earned several thousands of dollars, which helped to fund my business. So it was actually a fluke, because before I even won any money, people were handing me their 90-minute pitches and asking for critiques. And since that all happened back in 2014, I've helped several entrepreneurs earn more than $1 million in outside funding. And so one of my mentors came up with this idea as a way to monetize it. We're great at creating educational programs, and a business plan is just a communication tool. So that's basically what I do. And so this was never actually ever meant to be, but that's just how it came about. And it was a way to basically to bring in money while I was developing the educational software for K through 12, because that's really where my heart, my passion lies. It's in helping kids with learning disabilities. So thank you, Larry Broughton. I hope you get a chance to meet him. He's a great guy. All right. What else can what other questions can I answer? So as you go through this process, I've been teaching for IVMF for a while now. You know, I know some of the readings, they're higher level. They refer to corporations. It was designed for universities, but because of the way it's designed, it's companies that everybody knows about. Their records are kind of public. So it's just, they're learning examples. Don't be intimidated by it. If you have a lifestyle business where you're trying to turn your hobby into something that can bring in some revenue for your family, that's great. Okay. You don't have to create the next Google or Facebook or anything like that. Most small businesses are just that. They're small, but yet they contribute to the economy because they create jobs. Okay. And you as veteran entrepreneurs and even as military spouses, you have a higher track record of success with entrepreneurship. So that's why these programs were designed, and also because the founder of IVMF is a veteran, and he and a group of veterans started this because they wanted to give back to this community. So we're all happy to be with you and to help you as much as you can. There was something else I was going to tell you, and I'm going to remember here in about 5 minutes. So somebody asked me a question in the forum so I can answer it and remember what I was going to tell you. Deanna, keep talking. It's going to come back to me. There was something I was supposed to tell you all that I remembered while I was doing something else. Okay, and
I was just gonna say, let's see what I can talk about. I'm sure I can figure out something.
Okay, the recording, John, will be on Moodle, and it's going to be on this YouTube channel as well. Yeah, so whenever I share the link with you all, either in the emails or on the Moodle Classroom, it's always the same link. All you have to do is just click on it. And what a lot of the students do is they just subscribe to the channel and then they get automatic notifications. It's whatever is easiest for you. Deanna, did you want to finish talking, or do you want me to keep talking about stuff?
I'm just trying to think of a couple of things. I think some of the most important things to remember is that as you're going through this, maybe let's talk about, some of you might have questions as we start going through the course, especially as we get into the third week is about market research, and you're actually going to get access. It's going to happen on, I believe it happens on Sunday night or Monday night. I don't have our agenda right in front of me. Also with that, you'll be getting the agenda at the end of the week as well, so that you can get a good picture of how the residency phase is going to look. But I think one of the big things to remember with market research is that, and we do this purposefully, we will be giving you access to what we call our info portal, which, and you'll be getting a class on how to use it, how to do this market research, how to be able to navigate through that, because it might be brand new to some of you. And you'll be getting some one-on-one help with that throughout the week. But I just want to let you know that we do it purposefully, that we don't give you access to that before the residency portion, because of the fact that there is a lot of steps to it, and it is a bit confusing to get started, especially if you've never done it before. That we wait until the beginning of our residency portion to give you that class and to give you access to that. So as I stated before, you will have access to it. And then in follow on, a lot of the post-program support, some of the resources, once you graduate, will also be available to you in market research. So you'll be able to do those things, because a lot of that is pretty expensive. So, as a graduate, that is one of the benefits, is you'll be able to access a lot of that, a lot of those portals. So I figured I'd just talk about that, because those questions will arise in the third week of our online class. So just kind of getting that out there right now, and we can, go over that again each week. Thanks, Sandra.
Yeah, no, that was great. We didn't have access to all of that when I went through the course 4 years ago. So I think that's going to be a huge benefit for you. Let me show you really quick on, let me share my screen so you can see where it's going to be located. in the Moodle classroom. There's already some of it up, I think. But this is the hardest part of business planning as well as your homework assignments. Here's the EBV National Info Portal that Deanna was just talking about. This one will be for all of you for Syracuse, and then the other programs have their own for their respective universities. But as you go through the homework assignments, it's going to talk more about that. And these are some of the resources that Deanna was referring to. So IBIS World Reports, I think Aquanetta, this is what's going to answer a lot of your questions. This website has numerous, like thousands of reports on every industry, and it gives you all the inside information that you need to know. And there's a librarian from Syracuse, and you just saw her, this Jennifer, right? Or Stephanie. Anyway, she is the one who's going to help you with those searches and explain a little bit about the different resources that are available to you. Anyway, this is the hardest part about the entire business planning process. So if you can connect with your local business counselors through, again, the SBDC, they usually have the subscription to IBIS World. You can get these for free from them or through a university library. And I highly recommend getting these reports for my clients that I help with these business plan competitions. That's the one thing I require from them, okay? Because they're like $3,000 each, or I mean, the subscription itself to IBIS World is about $3,000, and the reports alone are about $800 each. And this is how we plan out their competitive strategy by researching each of the different industries. And one thing for you all to keep in mind is that because you're a new venture, most of you are new ventures, and you cater to niche markets, you'll have more than one industry. Okay, so you'll need to research each of those and then piece together your competitive strategy based on what your strengths are, as well as your team members and as well as your resources. Okay, and then the rest of this, she's going to go through. There's already a video online in the resource library as well as a VetNet channel on YouTube, and it talks more about all of these resources. But this is how you plan your strategy based on what your competitors are doing in the industry and what people are buying in the market. Okay. All right. So good. I'm glad that came up. I'm trying to think of what else we can talk about, especially for your homework assignments that are coming up really soon. Here, I'm going to bring up Size Up. So as you're analyzing the marketplace, here's a really good tool. It's called sizeup.com. Okay, for those of you who are visual, the logo looks like this, sizeup.com. Okay, and this is how you find out what your competition is doing. It has all sorts of tools. What you're going to do here, they changed the website. It used to be really easy. All you needed to do was to just click on one thing. But here it is. How do I compare? And just click on Learn More. And then, yeah, they just changed this because it wasn't like this earlier. For your industry, I'm going to put elder care. There are like, I think there are about 3 of you doing this. So we'll do home care for disabled and elderly services. I'm going to choose Syracuse, New York. Okay, and then it'll let you know who your competitors are, and then, you know, all this other information. It's going to give you a snapshot view for this area. So let's go ahead and click on My Business. Oh, if you're already in business, you can type this all in, and then it'll give you a comparison. I'm just going to go back really quick because what I want you to see, oh, it lost my information. What I want you to see are your competitors. I'm going to do this one more time. And I'm going to choose the right one. So home care services in New York, in Syracuse. And then we're going to type, we're going to select competition, and it's going to bring up a map. Okay. So now you can see the actual brick and mortar, the locations of the brick and mortar services in that area. Okay. So here are the 3 of them. And the other thing that is really good about this website is if you click up here under consumer spending, and let's select healthcare, and we'll go to healthcare services. And I don't know if it'll actually bring up, here it is, convalescent nursing home care. Now it shows you how much people are spending in your area for the different services. Okay. So that's sizeup.com. That's one of the tools that you can use for your industry research and your market analysis. All right. The other one that you're going to use again, and I know the librarian is going to go over this, but sometimes you need to hear this like six times or so for it to stick in, and that's fine with that. It's all new information. Is census.gov. Let me type it in over here. If you're working ahead, this is where you can get some more information. All right, so let me get rid of this, but it's under. Sometimes the easiest way to do this is to go to their quick facts. Okay, they just changed this too because there was an easier way to click on everything. Okay, so here, so you can get information on the population, and you want to know if you are localized to a certain region, then you want to know the number in that region that you're going to cater to. So just choose on what it is that you're trying to research. If you're trying to start a school or a daycare, then click on children, and then it'll give you more of the demographics for the area that you're looking into. The other resource I'm going to go ahead and tell you about now, I haven't gone through everybody's discussions yet, so I'm still trying to figure out what industries you're in, but there's a separate database for Google. It's Scholar. Let me see if I can spell this right. Scholar.google.com. And I'm going to type it into the chat room. So if you're trying to put together a grant and you need peer-reviewed articles, here's the database, scholar.google.com. It's probably easier to just remember Google Scholar because that's what I do. And let's talk about recidivism. Okay, I just did this with a client. And she's eligible for a lot of grants because they have to reduce the recidivism rates in each state because it saves the state a lot of money. So anyway, here are all of the articles that are peer-reviewed that you can use as part of your grant to show that you are using evidence-based practice. Okay, so that's another resource for you. Are there any more questions? We have about 7 minutes left, and I want to make sure that I can answer any questions that you have before we end, because this is one of the few opportunities I get to see everybody face to face. Okay, so those are just some of the resources that you're going to be using for your homework assignments over the next 2.5 weeks. Don't let all of this discourage you. Sometimes it can take a long time to find the right information. And sometimes, like here, the NAICS codes. Let's talk about this really quick. Your NAICS code is your North American Industry Classification Code. Okay, this is how you let people know what industry you're in and what it is that you're doing. So if you're planning on going into procurement, you definitely need to have this code so that because when they come up with opportunities, that's how it's all divided by either your NAICS code as well as your different keywords. So you can enter those searches in here, and that's how you can try and figure out what industry you're competing in. Okay, this is also the same for grants.gov if you're looking for some of those opportunities as well. Okay, so if I don't know everybody's industry yet. I'll learn more about each of you as I go through your assignments. Okay, so the more thought and detail you can put into your assignments, the better the feedback I can give you and the more resources I can direct you to. So don't be afraid to share in your assignments with me because they're not going to go anywhere after this class is done. I'm not going to remember a lot of what you've all given me, and I'm not going to access it ever again. Okay. So anyway, the point of all this is don't be afraid to share, because then I can give you resources that are going to be able to help you. And so are your classmates. There's more, there's a lot of stuff out there for veteran entrepreneurs, but you need to be networking and connecting with everybody and letting them all know what you're trying to accomplish. Okay, that's how your people are going to help you. But the point with grants.gov, if you go to learn grants, there are different agencies that make the grants. They're all government agencies. And so you might be able to find something that can help you get started. I'm going to use an example from the last EBV class. They make their own specialty gourmet sauces, and when they were, going to apply for a bank loan, somehow the USDA found out about it, and they sent them information about one of their grants. Okay, and so they had the opportunity to apply for a grant for farmers that would somehow add value back to their state. So that's the value of networking and telling people what you're doing. I know, especially if you're going to develop a product or some sort of service, most people tend to not share, but that's not a good thing. It takes a long time to develop, like software or even a product, and it can take 2 to 4 years. So they're not as easy to copy as people think. But if it's something that you're going to trademark, or you're going to apply for a trade secret or a patent, and there will be an attorney there who can explain the difference, then those you do need to keep to yourself. So I hope that makes sense. And if you're not sure what I'm talking about, again, save that question for the attorney. And if you need to, you can ask them in private, but there is usually somebody there at the conference who can answer those questions for you, because there's a whole process to actually getting your business recognized as a legal entity, as well as doing all the things to protect your intellectual property. All right, so we've talked about your NAICS code. The best way to do this is to find a competitor and see what their NAICS codes are. We've got some people in training, professional development and training. Let me go ahead and put that in. And then it'll bring up all sorts of codes. Well, in this case, I was too specific because I already knew the keywords for that. It's 6.1. Let me see. Let me blow this up so you can see. So this is the NAICS code for professional development training for those of you who are consultants, okay? 611430. If it's maybe you're a musician, I'm just going to write performing arts. And it's going to bring up all sorts of codes. So you will probably have more than one. One will be your primary and the rest will be alternates. Okay, so we're kind of getting ahead because these are some of your assignments over these next few weeks, but I wanted you to have some exposure to it, so it'll make it a little bit easier as you start going through the assignments. All right? Okay, are there any more questions? We're down to the last 2 minutes. Okay. So just remember, you're going to get an email reminder from me every day. For those of you who can make it, we will meet again next Monday at the same time. I'm also going to give you a link to Zoom, Zoom, because halfway through the office hours, we're going to stop YouTube, and then we're going to switch to the telephone conference line. But I still need to be able to share my screen in case I need to help you work through your business concept. All right? Do your best with the assignments. I know I know life happens, things get in the way. I am very flexible about helping people and, making accommodations in case you need an extension. All right. As long as it's not everybody all at once, I'm happy to do that. Last chance to ask any more questions online. Deanna, do you have anything else? Let me go ahead and stop sharing my screen. Deanna, do you have anything else, or are we good here? Okay. How about anyone in the classroom or anyone in the class? Okay, don't be afraid to reach out to me via email, or if you need to call me if you have any questions that you need answered or anything that you need help with, and I'm happy to work with everyone. Okay, it's been a pleasure meeting with all of you. I will see you guys again on Monday, and otherwise, please call, email, text, and I can help you with anything else that you need. For those of you, okay, otherwise, for those of you who can't or weren't able to participate live, the replay link is the same as the one that I've sent already. All right. We will see everyone next time. Bye for now.